Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Report for Monday, the 21st of November 2022. I'm Sean Aylmer, back from a holiday. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 finished down just slightly today to 7,139 points after a very strong run in the first couple of weeks this month. The bourse has just taken a bit of a breather over the past few sessions. The big industrials fell back today with Fortescue down 3.8% and BHP and Rio both 2.3% lower. Energy giants Woodside and Santos were both off around 1%, while real estate investment trust Goodman Group fell 1.3% and tech leader WiseTech Global was off 2.3%. The banks had a good day, led by Westpac, which rose 1.5%, and ANZ, which was up 1%. Toll road operator Transurban was the best of the large caps, up 2%. Best on the day, though, was AGL Energy, up more than 4%, while toll road group Atlas Arteria jumped 3.8%. Worst on the day was healthcare company Nanosonics after being downgraded by investment brokers. Story number 2, the chairman of the Foreign Investment Review Board says the thawing of relations between Australia and China could mean more merger and acquisition interest from Chinese companies. Now, Bruce Miller was making his first public speech as FIRB chairman today. He says Chinese interest in Australian investment has fallen heavily in recent years amid tension in the relationship and trade sanctions on commodities like barley, beef and wine. But a stabilisation of ties after last week's meeting between Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and Chinese President Xi Jinping could see more interest from China in buying local assets. He said increasing investment from China is a bit of a double-edged sword for Australia. We need the foreign capital, but there are concerns about national security. Story number 3, the much-mooted Inland Rail project is under scrutiny from the new government as it looks to fix the budget and not trigger bigger price hikes in the overstretched construction market. Infrastructure Minister Catherine King said she will take a hard-nosed look at the $14 billion project. It's supposed to link Melbourne and Brisbane, but it's been hit with delay after delay as discussions continue over its proposed route. Now, some construction has begun, but recent flooding has delayed much of that. Ms. King said a rush of big-ticket items could put further pressure on the construction market, particularly labour and material costs. The government is expected to report on its review into Infrastructure Australia before the end of this year. That review will help streamline the 800 projects currently in the government's national infrastructure pipeline. Story number 4, global insurance giant QBE has warned that profit margins are being squeezed as claims come in higher than anticipated. The war in Ukraine and bad weather hitting American crops is hurting the insurer, and that's hitting measures of profitability of its insurance operations. QBE today said it will put away more money for insurance claims with a long tail. That means claims that take years to eventuate, such as people injured in accidents. The bad news will be somewhat offset, though, by the expected release of reserves after legal wins in Australia against business customers making COVID-19 claims. QBE's share price today fell 0.5%. And finally, story number 5, a list of the 50 biggest unsecured creditors of collapsed cryptocurrency exchange FTX has been released, with 2 customers owed more than $200 million each. The biggest 50 unsecured creditors are all customers of the exchange and are owed a total of $3.1 billion. That's a lot of money. The single biggest unsecured creditor is owed more than $226 million according to the list, which didn't actually reveal names or locations. Each of the people on the top 50 list are owed more than $21 million. FTX says it has assets and liabilities of at least $10 billion each. It's estimated there are more than 1 million creditors in total. That's it for the afternoon report for Monday, the 21st of November, 2022. Michael Thompson and I will be back tomorrow morning with the Tuesday edition of Fear and Greed. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.